Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to bounce that subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, with Rimuru giving the students over to Tensei, Rimuru heads back to his village. Being welcomed back with open arms, Rimuru thanks everyone for progressing life in the town, whilst he was gone. Additionally, Rimuru sends Benimaru, as a representative to Demon Lord Carrion's land, to judge with his own eyes, on whether Carrion can be trusted or not. Bidding Benimaru off, Rimuru prepares for the representative. Demon Lord Carrion is sent over, hoping to give them a good experience. Elsewhere we see Yume progress as a hero saving villagers from wild creatures. That night, Yume and his group chat with Rimuru, discussing what type of representative Demon Lord Yume may send. With the day arriving, Rimuru and the villagers are greeted by tiger-drawn carriages. Greeting Albus the Golden Serpent and Sufia the White Tiger, we witness Sufia insult Rimuru for allowing humans and weak creatures to live amongst his monster village. Riled up, Yume challenges the cocky Sufia to a duel. Before they can engage, Shion interrupts, pissed that Sufia had insulted her master. With Shion matching Sufia in hand-to-hand combat, we see Yume fight another representative, Crucius. But the two decide to duel using weapons, with both evenly matched. With Sufia taunting Shion, Shion begins charging up a powerful energy ball, but before she's able to shoot it, Albus steps in, deeming both duels to be test, given by Carrion. Apologizing for the insults thrown at Rimuru, Demon Lord Carrion's representatives officially befriend Rimuru. But having charged up her energy too much, Shion is unable to stop her power, forcing Rimuru to show off, and devour her powerful attack. With everyone completely amazed at Rimuru's skills, Rimuru treats the guest to a lovely evening, providing essentials, like food and addicted to the taste of alcohol, Albus and Sufia decide to trade goods in order to learn certain practices in Rimuru's town. Agreeing to such an offer, Rimuru bids the representatives farewell, as some of Carrion's people stay behind to learn how Rimuru's village works. With Benimaru returning, he informs Rimuru of Carrion's men, having trained each and every one of them himself, hence the title Beast Master. Additionally, their craftsmanship is inferior but their agriculture is unmatched, hence Rimuru sets a goal of learning from their methods. Thanking Benimaru privately for his efforts, Rimuru finds out that although Benimaru was no match for Carrion, he was still able to easily defeat one of Carrion's representatives, Phobio, making Rimuru proud of Benimaru's growth. The next day, Rimuru, Shion, Shuna, along with several dwarves, accompany Rimuru to visit the Dwarven King. Having arrived safely, we cut to Clayman, scheming with one of his underlings, Mayulan. Sitting down with the Dwarven King, Rimuru fills him in on the progress they've made since he last visited. This includes Rimuru's friendship with Demon Lord Milam and the alliance with Demon Lord Carrion. Amazed at Rimuru seducing so many Demon Lords, Rimuru gifts the Dwarven Kingdom the alcohol they've created. Realizing the quality of Rimuru's alcohol far surpasses alcohol imported from Falmuth, the Dwarven King decides to cut ties with Falmuth moving forward. With Shion getting drunk during their conversation, Rimuru and the Dwarven King part for the time being. The next day, Rimuru is forced to announce their traitor partnership with the Dwarven Kingdom to all the citizens. With the Dwarven King giving Rimuru tips, on how to rule a country, Rimuru and gang sneak off into a girl cafe that night. Having had a great time, Rimuru is ultimately caught by Shuna and Shion, punished for betraying. Back with Yume, he encounters a mysterious wizard, Mayulan, who offers to join Yume's party. Refusing her at first, Yume is defeated by her magic, knowing that such a skilled wizard will be of use, moving forward. Introducing Mayulan to villagers of Tempest, Mayulan thinks about how she's using Yume to learn about Rimuru's village, under the orders of Clayman. Yume greets Crucius, who's training with the old man. Having also been defeated by Mayulan, Crucius offers to join Mayulan and Yume's party. Before that they continue to train with the old man, with Yume, Crucius and Gobta all not being a match for the old man. Back with Rimuru, we see him spending time with his students, whilst the kingdom of Falmuth calls a meeting. Having lost ties with the Dwarven Kingdom, due to Rimuru's superior alcohol, their finances are in trouble, blaming the monster village for their downfall. Scheming, the Falmuth corrupt leaders intend to call for reinforcements to destroy Rimuru's village by having a monster attack one of their human citizens, and blaming the uncontrollable monster village for the cause. The scene ends with us being introduced to 3 of Falmuth's summons, Shogo, Kyoya and Kirara. With the next day arriving, we see Mayulan contacted by Clayman, offering to return her heart, upon completing her mission. Elsewhere, Benimaru and gang are contacted by Albus, asking to hold the Beastman's villagers, as they've been attacked by Milam, all whilst the 3 Falmuth summons attempt to cause trouble in the village. With Kirara attempting to blame one of the goblins for assaulting her, Datta steps in apologizing for his friend's actions and diffusing the situation. Instilled, Kirara attempts to make use of her mind control, but is thwarted upon Shuna's arrival. With no other option, the 3 summons attack the village, with Shion taking on Shogo and Datta taking on Ki. Making use of the unfolding conflict, Mayulan attempts to flee, but is caught by Grucius, who figures out Mayulan is acting suspicious. With Yum arriving to assist Grucius, the 2 hesitate to stop Mayulan, allowing her to cast a barrier spell, which, combined with other casters stationed outside Rimuru's town, causes monsters within the barrier to lose their strength. Back with Rimuru, we see him leaving the students promising to return soon. Whilst heading back, Rimuru is alerted by an injured Sue, who is only able to tell Rimuru to run, before his communication with Rimuru is cut off. Just then, the great sage informs Rimuru that he's been enclosed by a barrier, and all his skills have been sealed. Unable to analyze and break the barrier, Rimuru is greeted by Hinata. Cutting back to Datta, we see him easily defeated by Kyoya's quick swordplay, who is able to defeat the old man. At the same time, Shion is crumbling, completely powerless against Kyoya. Having sustained so much damage, the village is swarmed with Falmuth knights, who claim the monsters have attacked humans, charging and burning Rimuru's village. Back with Rimuru, we see him attempt to chat with Hinata, but Hinata refuses to listen to the monster that she believes killed Shizu. Striking Rimuru with her rainbow blade, the great sage informs Rimuru the rainbow blade doesn't harm Rimuru's physical body, but instead destroys his spiritual body. Questioning how many more strikes he can endure, the great sage replies 3. Forced to clash blades with Hinata, Rimuru is helpless, unable to use any of his abilities, whilst also weakened by the barrier. Summoning Ifrit to burn Hinata, Rimuru notices Ifrit acting weird, in the presence of Hinata. Calling Ifrit back, Rimuru realizes that Hinata had stolen Ifrit's power, with her unique skill. With no other option, Rimuru unleashes his gluttony form, as Hinata strikes Rimuru with her 3rd rainbow. Contorting and changing his body, Rimuru takes on several creatures' body parts. Realizing that Rimuru is alive, Hinata deduces that Rimuru's new form does not yield a soul. Attempting to blow away Rimuru, Hinata incases Rimuru in some talismans, with little to no effect. Summoning her spirits, Hinata incinerates the entirety of Rimuru, deeming the fight to be over. After Hinata had lifted the barrier, and left the scene, Rimuru reveals himself, having summoned a doppelganger to take Hinata's barrage. Returning to his village, Rimuru greets Sue, who takes him to the barrier encasing his village. Telling Sue to investigate the reason for the construction of the barrier, Rimuru heads inside. Upon entering the village, Rimuru catches Yum and Grucius fighting off Benimaru, attempting to protect Mayulan. Stopping their fight, Rimuru questions Mayulan's intentions but instead is told to follow her. Walking through the town, Rimuru learns of Falmuth knights slaying the villagers, and fleeing once the job is done. What they left were hundreds of Rimuru's citizens dead, all because Mayulan had something to do with this. With nowhere to run, Mayulan confesses that she is obeying Demon Lord Clayman's orders, all because he has her heart. Putting her punishment on hold, Rimuru visits the injured, healing Datta and the old man. Rimuru asks about Shion's whereabouts. Being guided through the darkened town, Rimuru witnesses Shion's dead body. Releasing his thick aura for a split second, Rimuru calms himself down, asking to be left alone, questioning whether he had made the correct decisions up until now and why he was being punished. Rimuru attempts to consume all of the villagers' corpses, but is stopped by the adventurers from Blumund, telling Rimuru there might be hope to revive the dead. Learning of Milam's past, Rimuru realizes that the souls of the dead have been kept inside the barriers that were erected by the... Additionally, there is a spell that Rimuru can learn once he becomes a demon lord, to revive the dead, but its cast rate is around 3%, but it's better than nothing. To ensure the deceased souls wouldn't be lost, Rimuru cast a 3rd barrier, just to be safe. Finally, asking the great sage for conditions of becoming a demon lord, Rimuru learns that he needs to collect the souls of 10,000 creatures, and conveniently, the enemy forces number 20,000. Having thought of a new plan, Rimuru states that they must first kill Mayulan. With Yume and Grucius refusing such an action, Mayulan gives herself up, allowing Rimuru to puncture her heart. Surprised to not be dead, Rimuru reveals that he had removed Demon Lord Clayman's fake heart, and implanted an artificial one, simulating her death to Clayman and freeing her from his grasp. Thankful, Mayulan pledges herself to Rimuru, whilst Yume and Grucius thank Rimuru for not killing Mayulan. Next, Rimuru asks for Yume to become the new king of Falmuth, once Rimuru has slaughtered all its citizens, needing someone to rebuild the city. Agreeing to such a crazy plan, Rimuru executes his missing to revive Xian and the others. Learning from Sue of 4 pillars holding up the barrier, Rimuru plans to send Benimaru to the east pillar, the goblins to the west, Gabiru to the south and Sue to the north, all simultaneously destroying the pillars, and hence the barrier. With everyone knowing their roles, Rimuru begins their plan. With Benimaru, Gabiru and Sue easily destroying their designated pillars, we cut to Gobta, Geld and the old man face Falmuth's summons. With the old man rematching Kyoya, Kyoya attempts to trick the old man, but is surprised with the old man's speed. Refusing to let the old man beat him, Kyoya shows off his immense speed, but underestimates the old man's superior speed, witnessing his own death. Back with Geld, we see him step in to face Shogo in place of having been cornered by Shogo's immense strength. Geld reveals his wrought skill, eating away at the human's nimble body. Realizing he doesn't stand a chance, Shogo runs to Karara, killing her to gain a new skill. Revealed to be the survivor skill, Shogo flaunts his new infinite regeneration skill, but doesn't realize Geld is still stronger than him, forced to endure the pain from Geld's strikes, only to regenerate and continue to suffer. All of a sudden a high wizard, Raisin, protects Shogo and disappears with him. Having destroyed the 4 pillars, Shuna and Mayulan cast a barrier under Rimuru's orders. With all measures in place, Rimuru asks the great sage to begin the slaughter. In the meantime, Raisin and Shogo chat, with Raisin putting Shogo to sleep. Revealed to be able to hijack bodies, Raisin takes over Shogo's body, believing to be able to take on a demon lord, with Shogo's survivor skill and Raisin's knowledge. Above the Falmuth camp, Rimuru's cast a laser spell, shooting hundreds of precise beams at the Falmuth knights, instantly killing them. Greeting the cocky Falmuth king, Rimuru dispatches the men surrounding him, including Raisin. Learning a new skill, Merciless, Rimuru makes use of the skill to simultaneously slaughter every single person within the Falmuth camp. Having collected enough souls, Rimuru begins to fall asleep, as the Demon Lord ritual begins. Summoning Ranga, he orders him to bring him and several captives back to town. Unknowingly, Rimuru summons 3 demons, demanding the 3 to search for a mysterious survivor, who had survived Rimuru's merciless skill. With Rimuru returning to town, we see him begin to evolve, learning multiple skills, but also having several skills evolve. Elsewhere, Rimuru's demon summon has spotted Raisin as the lone survivor, having regenerated from his survivor. Underestimating the demon, Raisin realizes Rimuru's summon is not a greater demon, nor an archdemon, but a primordial, one of the most powerful creatures. Who easily defeats Raisin. Returning to Rimuru, we see every creature named by Rimuru collapse and evolve with Rimuru. As Rimuru awakens, we see him begin to cast the resurrection spell, offering some of his life energy to satisfy the conditions of the spell. Interrupting, Rimuru's demons offer their lives, in place of Rimuru's life force, which Rimuru accepts. Continuing the secret art of reviving the dead, only to collapse upon its completion. Upon waking up, Rimuru is pleased to awaken in Xian's arm, signaling that his revival spell had worked. Having slept for 3 days, Rimuru learns of what had happened to Carrion. Apparently Milam had waged war on Carrion out of nowhere, leaving people to speculate that Milam was being controlled. Having put up a valiant fight, Carrion was ultimately betrayed by a fellow demon lord, leading Carrion's followers to take refuge in Rimuru's town. That evening, Rimuru thanks his demon summon for assisting him, naming him Diablo, who pledges to serve Rimuru. The scene ends with Rimuru finally acquiring enough power to break Veladora's seal, reviving the storm dragon Veldora Tempest. Thanks for watching. Make sure to devour the subscribe button, like and